A few days ago, I noticed something interesting during a small group conversation. 5 people were sitting together, just talking casually. Everyone had opinions, everyone had something to say, but somehow, one person in the group was treated differently. When he spoke, people listened. No one interrupted him. The conversation slowed down for a moment, like his words carried a little more weight. And the strange part was, he wasn't the smartest person there. He wasn't the loudest either. He didn't try to dominate the conversation, but somehow, people naturally gave him more attention. That's when something clicked in my mind. In every social group, there are invisible rules that quietly decide your status. Nobody talks about them, nobody teaches them, but people follow them automatically. And the surprising part is, your brain is constantly reading these signals without you even realizing it. Things like how someone reacts when they're challenged, how comfortable they look when there's silence, how they behave when everyone's attention suddenly shifts toward them. These tiny behaviors send powerful signals to the people around you, and most of the time, people are judging those signals without even thinking about it. Here's the strange part. The person with the highest status in a room is rarely the one talking the most. Instead, they often do the opposite. They speak calmly, they say what they need to say, and then they stop. They don't rush to fill every moment of silence. And that small pause changes how people perceive them. Because when someone is comfortable with silence, it sends a quiet message. It says, I don't need to prove myself. And people subconsciously read that as confidence. But something else is happening too. When people feel unsure about their position in a group, they often start talking more. They explain more. They try harder to make everyone understand them. It's a very human reaction. We've all done it at some point. But socially, that extra effort can sometimes send the wrong signal. It can look like uncertainty. And when uncertainty appears, people unconsciously lower the respect they give. Now this is where it gets interesting. In tense moments, people naturally pay attention to the person who seems the most calm, not the person who talks the most, not the person who argues the loudest, but the person who looks steady and grounded. Because calmness creates a kind of psychological gravity. People feel it, even if they can't explain why. And this is the mistake most people make. They think status comes from controlling the conversation, from talking louder, from proving their point again and again. But social dynamics usually reward something much simpler: stability, confidence, and self-control, which means social status is rarely something you demand. It's something people quietly assign to you, based on small signals they read from your behavior, the way you respond, the way you pause, the way you handle silence. Because the invisible rules deciding your social status were always there. Most people just move through conversations without ever noticing them. But once you start seeing these patterns, you start realizing something powerful. In almost every room, the real social hierarchy is being decided silently, long before anyone says a word about it.